But this brain state is not permanent. The brain can heal, and recovery is possible. In fact, people get sober all the time. Some go to AA or NA, but there are many different paths to recovery. And what all these people with stable recovery have in common is that they stop doing the things or curtail the things that cause dopamine surges. They learn to cope with craving and drug cues. They become very good at managing stress quickly, usually in a social or spiritual context. And with time, the frontal cortex regains control over behavior. The power of choice is restored. And eventually, the hedonic system comes back online. And normal pleasures, once again, become normally pleasurable. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, the brain's hypofrontality resolves, and the recovering addict's capacity for choice is restored. As long as they manage their addiction on a daily basis, people in recovery can make the choice to stay sober. Now we have a working definition of addiction. Addiction is a stress-induced defect acting on a genetic vulnerability in the reward learning areas of the midbrain and the emotion choice areas of the frontal cortex. And the symptoms of addiction are loss of control, craving, and persistent drug use despite negative consequences. We have organ, we have defect, we have symptoms. We have met the burden of proof. That is why we can say without the slightest shyness that addiction is a disease. And something very important happened once addiction became a disease. Addicts became patients. What does it mean to say that addiction is a disease and that addicts are patients? To me, it means that addiction now has parity with all other diseases, and addicts are equal to all other patients. All the rights that diabetics and patients with broken legs enjoy, addicts now receive. It's not enough to say that addiction is a disease. There are major ethical obligations that go along with that statement. We may have to rethink some of the things we often allow in the treatment of addicts. Things like coercion and punishment. Otherwise, addiction treatment itself runs the risk of becoming an argument against calling addiction a disease.